Hey guys, welcome to the evening April Making Bank with Photography class talk session, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do something that I've done once before, I think, which is to cover something I think that's really basic. But I learned stuff by reviewing my website and thinking carefully about what the basics were. And I learned stuff this morning when I was going to show people on my website what I meant. And I was like, I guess that should be different. So I think we can all learn from this I have. So here we go. We're going to talk about websites, the basics of websites, and what I think is important. And we're not going to get into SEO. I do recommend, if you are interested in SEO, which is super important, that you join Headshot Hot Sauce if you are planning to put the work in to make your site more searchable and to get more clients by people searching headshots, your market on Google. Touch on SEO a little bit throughout maybe, but I'm not an expert, and I point you to Headshot Hot Sauce as the best resource I know about. Starting out, so I want to cover for you guys and for anyone who's watching the archives that even in the beginning of your career, you need to have a website. If you are more older than 25, you feel that websites are essential. They build credibility. Maybe if you're under 25, you're used to just buying off of Instagram, or I don't know how it works. But to me, having a website is very important. And most people, I think of a website as a way to get leads, to be found by people searching. I think it is very important, first of all, as a place you individually send people to. So you're active on LinkedIn, you're active on social media, you have connections, you have friends, family. You want to be able to send them to a website to build credibility, to give them the information they need to find out more about what you do, how you work, why they should book you, to book you online. That is the way my website was most helpful to me in the first year. Was I would connect with somebody on LinkedIn, they'd be like, what do you charge, or whatever. Before I was so focused on getting them on the phone, I would send them to my website. My website has my portfolio. If you get on the phone right from a LinkedIn message, they've seen maybe your headshot, but probably not other headshots. So I view it as a hub. It needs to show your portfolio, give them a reason to book, give them the ability to book. And that's it. You're feeding almost all of the people who find your page by sending them the link. It's an important part in what Trevor's talking about Post, Engage, Connect. I think you need to be able to have this place to send them. So there are three pages: the home page, and I think the portfolio should be on top. It should be people who look like your ideal clients. I'm not at all worried about, one person who has a streak of purple hair. I had a lady with a streak of purple hair. She was a great ideal client. She looked like an ideal client, but just with a bit of an alternative hairstyle. But if I had, 10 people with different colored hair, those aren't my ideal clients. She was a standout person, but she didn't look like she couldn't be a lawyer or whatever. They should look like ideal clients. It should be diverse. Should try to kind of match your area. Make sure that whenever anybody comes there, regardless of anything about them, they feel like they have somebody who, doesn't look way different than them. They have someone who doesn't look way different than them on the website. Age, skin color, whatever. Needs to be representative of a wide range of people. Consistency is also very important. Obviously, this is part of headshots as a service and a product. They need to know, I think they need to know what they're getting. I was on a photographer's website this afternoon, and he has all sorts of things. And then I was like, oh, this is just the homepage. Let me go to the headshots portfolio. And the headshots were all different. I don't think that's the best. I want people to know what they're going to get. And I think it makes them more confident about what I'm doing. It's not like a different idea for every shoot I do. This is what you're going to get when you come in for me. Also important on the homepage is messaging. I was on a homepage today and it was just pictures. And there was no call to action. I had to find the menu, and then there were other pages where I could book a session, see more work, get some information about who this person is, how he or she works. I forget who it was. It wasn't one of our group or the Facebook group. I think it was one of my competitors in DC that I was showing my salesperson. She wanted to know. She was like, who's our competition? I was like, there's no competition. She's but she wanted to see some people who were charging somewhere around my rates, who were doing headshots. And then booking buttons, as I mentioned, we are leading them along a path to part with their money. So you need to have buttons that have color probably, and lead them to the next step towards giving us their money. If you're doing the opt-in, you need a sign-up page, a short blurb on the right, because the form should be on the left, because forms on the left convert better. And I think there should be more portfolio on that page. Let me go to my website as an example. I'll just review the homepage real quick. Point out what I'm talking about. I like this. I like 6 across, 5 across is fine. I like 2 rows. You see the diversity. If you think carefully about it, maybe there could be more somehow. I was talking this morning. I feel like I have this lady over here, Asian lady, maybe one of her shots that's more in this style should be up there. That'd be good. I do, one thing I like with the buttons is to have different colored buttons depending on whether it's taking the next step in an individual session or group session. And I made the point, let's see, do I make the point later? I make the point later, so I'll make the point later in this. We've got buttons all over the place, testimonials, this other kind of look, another group, facial expression coaching with the link to the individual page, some H2 tags for SEO. These are things I also want to rank for. And then buttons at the bottom, some contact information where the studio is in the footer. But this is my H1. You only have one H1. It's the thing you most want to be ranked for. It's not just a styling thing. It's not mainly a styling thing. It tells Google what's most important to you. And as I was saying with the sign up page, there's blurb over here. So I don't want it to be a lot of text. It's just to kind of keep their interest. If they click get pricing, they're somewhat interested. This is just to make them feel that it is worth filling out this information over here. It's just name, email, phone number, and an optional message. And booking page, I think it's important that people be able to book you online, be able to call you and book. Any way people can book you is good with me. You see more, someone talking? I heard a lot of feedback, so I'm going to mute you. Just unmute yourself if you have something to say, it's fine. More portfolio, I have a video here.
Hi guys, it's John Meadows. I'm your headshot photographer and facial expression coach.
Annoying face and annoying voice right there for you, just so you know what you're getting into. Little steps on how to book. You have to choose a weekday or Saturday. You have to choose hair and makeup or no. What time works best for you? What credit card would you like to use? I have I'm following the idea that forms on the left convert better, so I put the booking page on the booking box on the left. I think having your contact information is important. This morning I was reviewing this site on the call, and I think this should really be maybe up here or somewhere up there. I want that to be prominent. I'm using Acuity. I like this pay for the session plus 365 an image. And I like that, especially for me. Someone this morning I was looking at, or this afternoon, and it said booking fee. And if you have only one fee for your headshot session, I think that's good on multiple fronts. It makes it, I think people will assume that images come with the session less if they're paying a booking fee than if they're paying a session fee. And it emphasizes the need to pay when you book. When else would you pay a booking fee? So I like booking fee if you only have one session fee. I like pay for the session because then they can go over and see that there are different prices. But I should probably put pay to book plus 365. That would kind of combine the two things I'm talking about. But have the studio address so they know when they're booking that they'll be able to get to where you are. Those are the fundamentals that I think we all need. And then there's some principles. I think of this as an e-commerce site. This is a site to get people to give me money. You're helping people part with their money. I want to keep my page simple. I don't want a ton of different avenues. I don't want a contact page, an about page, a portfolio page, an info and rates page, a what else do people have? A blog, how I got into photography. What else? There are some other things. All those pages just even like I saw someone had a press page, articles written about me. It's like, I just want them to see my work, understand how I work, why they should book with me, and click a button, fill out the form, fill out their information, book the session. That's what I want. I don't need them going all over the place. John.
Hey, what is the psychology behind number 4? What credit card would you like to use?
It's an indication that they need to pay. I think it's more useful on the phone. It's a way to initiate the sale. So if you explain pricing, you explain how it works, and they're like, cool. I say, like, I usually shoot on Tuesdays and Fridays. And they say, oh, that Tuesday at 2 would work. What are you going to say? Give me your money. I just think it's a good, like, this one. Okay, I've got it. Okay, cool. What's the number? It's just a way to initiate a payment. It's not a genius move. It's just a way to
Got it. So it's like in the flow of the conversation, and 1, 2, 3, 4, you're like check, 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 and pay, right?
Yeah,
Just kind of like, okay.
Instead of saying pay.
Okay.
Is not brilliant.
I think it's also a question that leads them to think about something you want them to, rather than, well, for example, if you ask like, oh, do you want to book? They're going to think, do I want to book? And then maybe the answer is no.
True.
As opposed to what card you want to put that on just assumes the sale. And they're thinking, oh, do I want to put that on my American Express and get some extra mileage points? Or do I want to put it on my other card that, the debit card or something,
Good point.
I was thinking about it differently too. Like, what could I put a spin on it of, like, and figure out how many points you can get back on your credit card purchase or some shit like that,
It's like asking someone when's good for a call, Tuesday or Thursday. It's different than saying, would you like to do a call? No, I don't want to. It just creates the option for them of when they want to do what you want them to do. Shared traits. So I view it as e-commerce. There's nothing else, right, John? You good? Okay. E-commerce, help people part with their money. Keep it simple. Like you've got them on your page. You want them to give you their information if you're doing opt-in so you can follow up and book them. Once they do that, you want to show them the option to book online so they can pick a time and pay. You want to call them. You don't need them to know where you got started in photography and what your first camera was. So keep it simple. There are those steps. That's what should structure your website, I think. Make the next step as obvious as possible. This is why I like buttons with color that contrasts and draws the attention. I like them throughout the page. I have, I think, 3 group pricing buttons and maybe 7 or 8 individual pricing buttons, so that wherever they are on the page, a book now button, get pricing button is not far from them. I have more individuals based on COVID and groups not being as popular. They're starting to come back, I think, now. So I may add some more group buttons in there because something people are wanting more. Obviously, you want to be persuasive. Story brand messaging is what I would go with. It just needs to, explain why they should go with you instead of somebody else. Pictures alone usually won't do it, especially I think at the higher price points, people need more than pretty consistent pictures. Get them interested enough to opt in or book. That's obviously the goal. Don't crowd text, make text stand out. I put that in particularly for Trevor, make text stand out. And it's not a book. People aren't there to, devour all you've written. They don't want to read anything probably. So punchy, like it doesn't need to just be headlines, subheadlines, subtitles, or whatever. It can be more than 4 words, but I would be careful about going over paragraphs over 2 lines, and take out words that don't need to be there. Make it easy to read. I saw on some website reviews this morning that people were having quite a bit of text, 4 or 5 lines, and bolding the words that really needed to be read. You can delete a lot of the non-bolded words. If 10 out of 100 words are bold, you can get by with 25. So and then there are some tests that I think about when I'm working on my website. The click test: how many times do people have to click once they're on your page to book you? The opt-in form does add clicks. I think there are good reasons to add those clicks. There are not good reasons to, like I saw this morning, I clicked on group pricing and there was still the header with get pricing, and I could see someone getting to that page, seeing the get pricing. Oh, I want to get the pricing, and then that leads them to the individual side. And then I clicked home and it was a broken link, and then I had to go back to the home page. And you want to make it simple and as few clicks as possible, minimize the chances that people will figure out a way to not do what the next step is. As we're talking to people on the phone, I've started asking them, have you heard about, did you see pricing? And sometimes they don't. I don't really know how to improve that because it's right there when it redirects. But I've been asking them about facial expression coaching, and a lot of them saw it on the website. But what I realized as I was going through my website today, I'll go over that in a minute. It's just the next point. So asking people what they know can help you tweak your website. Another test is how high are the most important persuasive elements in your site. So if all your headshots are at the bottom and you just have text, you want people to see the images. So that's why I like, 10 to 12 headshots on the top like this. This is very important and short. Professional headshots, Washington, D.C. I know you have a great headshot in you. I can coach it out of you. Don't settle for a cringeworthy fake smile. Get a headshot that rocks.
Hey,
That's-
John, are you sharing screen? I don't see this
Yep,
shared screen anymore.
I'm not, thank you. I stopped and then I didn't start it again. Thank you for that. So I like these 10 to 12. And then this is, so you see when I go there, this is what people see on a 16-inch MacBook. They see the headshots, they see the short, punchy engagement here, and then they see the buttons. So all that's on the top page. That's good. What I realized, and I don't know why this is this way, I'm surprised, but it's been a while since I've really looked at my website carefully. This is not what I want here. I think it's a cool block. But of course, as you know, my facial expression coaching is the thing, and it's all the way down here. It's halfway down the page. So I think now that when I've been asking people if they heard about it, and I feel like the percentage of people who have heard about it is going up, but I think they might be talking about this on the sign up page. So I definitely need to very soon switch this to be up here. I want people to read about the facial expression coaching, and fewer people get down to here than get up to here. So stuff like that is something to always be going back. I knew, I designed this pretty carefully when I was working on it, but it's always worth going back and reviewing critically your own website, clicking on all the links, making sure they're all working, making sure that your email campaign starts when someone submits, making sure they can book, making sure there's availability on your booking calendar. You can miss stuff. So things to avoid: portfolio pages, especially without links, booking buttons. I mean, I prefer to have my portfolio throughout the page. I think if people want to see more headshots, they're going to scroll down and they're actually going to see more, and they're going to see my testimonials, and they're going to see this other kind of look, and they're going to see this guy, and they're going to see those people, and they're going to see that guy. And as they're looking for more examples of my work, if they need it, they're going to also get my messaging. And I would avoid contact pages. I would have, and this is another thing I realized that I should probably tweak a little bit. For the sign up page, I don't have my contact information up here. It is in the footer here, so people can find it, but it should be more prominent in case someone gets here and says, I don't want to give him my phone number or name or whatever. I just want to email him or call him, but then they're giving me my phone number, giving me their phone number. So it's just an option. Maybe someone just feels weird about entering that information online. They don't mind calling me on a cell phone where I can get their number easily. Whatever, I should have that up top. I did kind of think of that with the booking page. My information is down here, but that's kind of out of the way. I think it should be up like here or here, somewhere more prominent in case they have questions. I could see somebody going down here and being like, oh, it really needs to be, the 13th or 14th, and he doesn't have any availability on the 13th or 14th, and not seeing my contact information and leaving. Of course, I will be calling them. It's not the end of the world, but I think that could be better about my website.
John,
Yes.
John, quick question.
Yeah.
Do you ever audit based off of mobile over desktop, or do you always just kind of think of it through desktop?
I do think of it both. I should think of it more about mobile than I do. Let me see if I can quickly show you an example of how I have set it up for mobile. One thing that I do to make it look good on mobile is to actually just take a screenshot of like that top portfolio page or portfolio, the top 12. And let me see here. So I take a screenshot. So this, I think I did update it. So this is just a screenshot of this, but it's one image. so that when people view it on a phone, it doesn't have, I think it would naturally have two images, two images, two images, two images, two images, two images. Two images, 6 rows of 2. Or it might, depending on, I can't remember for sure, but it might have had single images. So 12 images in a row. I don't want that. I'd rather have it as a section across the top, even of a phone. People want to see a little better, they can pinch, but I don't want a lot of images to scroll through before they get to my to this part. So that's one thing I do. I do sizing for mobile too. I did it for this as well. This is one image down here. And then I make it invisible for, I make this invisible for mobile, and I make this invisible on desktop and tablet. So this shows up on the phone. These show up on a computer.
But when you were looking at your booking page and you were talking about having your number more up top versus down below, I was thinking, well, on mobile, that's going to be a lot further down,
Yes,
you know.
that's
So
another,
it's kind of, yeah.
it's another benefit of putting the forms and booking pages, booking boxes on the left as well. They'll be higher. So, yeah, I think about that. I think, obviously we should be thinking more about that as we go on and mobile becomes even more popular than it is over desktop. So, people talk about mobile first, have been talking about mobile first indexing and thinking more about the mobile experience than the desktop, because more people are using phones than desktops. So yes, very important. Another thing to avoid is having booking buttons, including in the header after the homepage, especially in the header. So if you'll notice here, what I'm talking about is when someone clicks get pricing in the header, it goes away. I don't want them clicking the header. I don't want them clicking my logo and going back home. I want them to complete this form. So the only button is a submit button. So that is, that's important. You don't want them to be able to do anything other than what you want them to do. I'll do question and answers, which I think, you guys have asked a couple questions, or at least John has. That's good. I don't think it's, you tell me if there are questions, but if they're not, I plan to do some website reviews for anybody who wants them. I did a few this morning, like 4 or 5 this morning, and people appreciated them. So I'm available for that or for questions. And hi, Connie.
Hey, John. Hey, John,
Yes.
can I get on the mailing list?
Did you? Yeah. Let me make a note. Big note here. I'm sorry if you didn't. You may not be on there. It may be a oversight on my part, but
Yeah.
also things have been. Did
That's
you get?
okay.
Did you get the invitation to the event?
No,
All right. How did you get in here?
I had something, I'm a fluke. I don't use Google Calendar, but I need to start, but it was dropped in there. So
Oh, it was in the Google Calendar.
I guess, but,
Okay. Yeah,
but
that is
I don't usually, I'm a fluke. I don't usually use it and I happen to see it. So
okay.
I was grateful.
I don't send out an email every month because I've sent out the Google Calendar, but maybe I should. So
It's okay. I need to switch to Google Calendar.
I'll double check and make sure you're
I haven't
on
gotten
the-
anything since December, so it's
Okay.
good to see you. It's good
Yeah.
to read your successes.
Oh, thanks.
Life is good.
All right. So who wants me to look at their websites?
Oh, I don't have a problem if you want to.
Well, yours is going to be awesome already, but can you pop it in the chat?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I don't understand the spacing. If you like the spacing between the headshots, that's fine. I would want them as big as possible, being 6 across. So I'd minimize the distance between the headshots, and I don't like space on the sides. Kind of personal. If you like it, keep it up. I think I like these shots too. But I would add some more, like another row of 6, I think, or 5 if you think that's too many rows of 5. I just think you have a lot more space where you can still get your first lines in here. It's interesting to have the pricing button up there. I feel like it needs more space above it. Why I put it below there is because this is so short, the 3 lines I like. But I just think I want a little bit of messaging. I guess you have premium headshots celebrate your brand. I think it makes a little more sense here, like after you tell them very quickly why they should book with you. But whatever, if it's working for you, it's working for you. So a few more headshots there. This just my initial reaction to this. I haven't been to this website, I don't think, but my initial reaction is this is annoying. I don't really like the pop up and I lose the headshot and then I'm like, wait, I want to, I can't get away from it. I don't want to block the headshots.
I will say though, on your other comment on the pricing button.
Yeah.
So on mobile, after, because it goes down to 2 photos, the get pricing button is right there. So like from a mobile standpoint, it's kind of like the
Okay.
balance. You know what I mean?
Well, you could hide this button for desktop and tablet and then put the other button and hide it from mobile.
Okay.
If you like the idea. It's not a strong, oh, this is going to make you $1 million more over the course of your career. Just my opinion.
Oh no. Okay.
Probably will only make you another 100,000 over the course of your career. So I don't know. I feel like I like the idea, but it annoys me. Like I can't like this. This is really what annoys me. If I felt like I had more space, but and then I'm like, well, what does that say? Where's the what else? Oh, it just is a little. It makes me a little bit crazy. Let's see what it says. How many actors do you get, and how many do you want?
I've had 3 actors, and I will take as many that want to work with me.
I'm just wondering, I've experienced this with some other websites I've been looking at today where it's like corporate headshots, physician headshots, LinkedIn headshots. And I'm like, how many physicians do you have? Like not that many. There are a few that are doing their residencies during that time of the year, going for their applications for residency. I'm like, that makes me feel like, well, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a physician. So apparently physicians go to this guy. I don't know. For me, it's partly my experience. I just have shot like 2 actors, have one tomorrow, but I'm focused on the business side because that's where I'm getting almost all my clients are business professionals.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, that's the majority, right? Business people, corporate people, Yeah.
It's not bad to have it. I just wonder if when professionals come, professional services kind of people come to your site, if actors makes them think like, even though you have business and LinkedIn, I don't know. I feel like if you don't have a lot of actors, a more targeted messaging that will connect to your ideal client won't talk about other kind of clients.
Yeah, I would think that maybe if I wanted to still keep these three, I could put actor last. And because again, from a mobile standpoint, if I were to flip flop actor in LinkedIn, I would lead with LinkedIn and then business and then actor, and that
Yeah.
might not turn them away.
Could be a different order. I don't think it's a big deal either. You got a good site on. Your images matters more than you think. Your professional headshot builds trust. Look better than your boss. I like that. I like the trust thing too. That when I really dove into my messaging, it's about creating trust for me. I say creating trust and building connection. Office headshots. I feel like a big part of office headshots is consistency. And so I want to see either 6 headshots here that look like they're all on the same team. They're all white background, all triangle lighting, all same pop on the highlights. They look like they're dressed similarly. There's not one guy wearing a tie and one guy not wearing a tie. They either all have ties, they all don't have ties. They look like they'd be making the same amount of money. Really consistent, or even better, a collage or 3 collages of the 3 biggest companies you've shot. Maybe people have heard of one or the other. If it's a tech company, the people who see it in tech will be like, oh yeah, I know of them. Even if it's not Apple or whatever. But that's, people want you to create a consistent look for the companies. You even say consistent headshots, and then these headshots are they're consistent. Like this guy and this guy pop a lot more than this guy. The backgrounds are slightly different. I'd want like as much consistency as possible. These
That's
women
fair.
do look like they're wearing the same shirt or dress, so that's consistent.
Okay, that's fair. I know, I like that. And keep
That's what
going.
you should do. Have consistent headshots, and then have all the men and women wear the same dress. Let me read this. All right, you claim to be the best in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, which could well be true. And surrounding areas. Okay. You're stuffing the keywords in there. Expression coach. I don't think that's good language. I would say something like I'm just kidding. I like that. I think that's for an about section. That's pretty good. You don't say your first camera. This has an SEO purpose. And then one thing I try not to say, like, I am a facial expression coach. I talk about facial expression coaching. I mean, I guess I say I do facial expression coaching, but it's like, this is not too you-centered, but it's a little bit more you-centered than saying my coaching will help you do this and that. It's nitpicky. I know it's nitpicky, but yeah, it's good for an about section. I don't have an about section. I don't like them overall, but I think it's a good one. Client success stories. I like that instead of testimonials. I think that's nice. Probably better than testimonials. You have to get pricing buttons. Performer headshots is first, corporate and company. Corporate and company. Corporate includes real estate headshots, conference headshots, and entrepreneur headshots. So I don't think that really makes sense. Corporate to me is, when I say corporate headshots, I'm talking about groups of people, and I'm usually not talking about realtors. Conferences, I guess, could be corporate. Entrepreneur headshots are not corporate headshots, I wouldn't say. And I would just, the performer, like, I don't try to get actors personally. I mean, sounds like you might have had more percentage wise than I have. I like the location. I think that the NFL only works like a third of the year. Or the PGA Tour, I don't know, maybe that gets you to half of the year.
It did, so Whistling Straits is a, it's a 5-star PGA course that a lot of, people with income do travel here
Okay,
during golf season, right? So,
okay. I'm gonna go watch some golf and get some headshots.
or they're gonna play some golf and get some headshots.
Yeah,
We also have like a couple other PGA golf. I think there's like 5 or 6 PGA courses within 20 miles of me. So there are, and to play those courses, man, I mean, it's not cheap. So
yeah. Okay, tourist headshot tourism, it's fine. I support it. I feel like it's where there's a gap between these on each side of this hyphen, and there's no period. Project Surf. Okay, how many? What in the world is this?
So this is just a personal project that I wanted to keep on the site. It's just it's a labor of love, but
Okay,
it's pretty well hidden down at the bottom. So
it is
it's not. And then I offer senior pictures.
specials. Okay, you got me with
Yeah.
specials. I thought it was a special. It's just a gift card. Okay, and then senior pictures. Yeah, I like that. It's almost 100% headshots focused. I don't mind the link at the end. Okay. Get pricing. Okay, you're not doing opt-in.
No,
Okay. Pass over that. I feel like we had her review on the homepage, didn't we? Or we had her picture.
we did have her picture. Yeah.
Okay, if her review isn't on the homepage, that's fine. I feel like I'm expecting something to be here. I don't know why this is all the way over here and this is like centered on this half of the page. Kind of feels off to me. If you don't have an opt-in page, then this should be, I believe, your booking page. So the click test, there's no reason to have them go to a rates page without a way to book. Now they have to click here. Now you're adding a click that you don't need to. I think the testimonials are probably better on the home page. That would be my opinion. I'd rather see the booking page over here. Why did that cursor get so ginormous? Do you know?
I didn't see anything.
It got like 10 times bigger.
Yeah, that's a Mac feature when you
Yeah,
wiggle the
when
mouse
you-
real fast.
Yeah, when you wiggle it back and
Oh,
forth.
okay. Oh, I've never seen that before. I've never been this excited. I
Hey, now.
think not about her. I'm just talking. I'm just I forgot Connie was in here.
Stop it.
Oh, I can take it. I can take it.
When my cursor gets that big, it's kind of unusual.
Yes, when you shake it, it gets very big.
Yes. So I would really, the strongest recommendation I have for you is to add the booking page to this page. So
Bring up the calendar, a page.
if people see
and-
this and they're like, okay, that all looks good, I want to book, then they have to click here. Whereas if you had this booking here, they go, oh, and they see you have the 15th available, which actually works great for them. And they click the 15th. Hold on. How did I get there? What in the world? There's like a hidden button here. What is this? Oh, I click here. That's weird. So I think you save a click and you help them get availability. They don't need to figure out that this is a button to get over there. If they click here, if they click to get here, they don't need, this is just a distraction. They already want a book. They don't need to be convinced anymore. They just need the page. So I think you streamline it if you just put the booking there.
Okay.
Cool. Overall, good. I feel like this guy's he's too old to need a headshot.
You know, what's funny about him is he booked with me through Headshot Crew, only
Okay.
one I've ever gotten, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. This guy does not look like he's the CEO of anything.
No, he doesn't.
But it's cool. I feel like this is the weak one up here.
Okay.
She looks timid. Her mouth is all tense. So I think we should be updating our portfolios. If all of your images on your website are 6 months old and you're working, then you should have better stuff to put up there. Stuff that fills a little gap in your diversity or something, just a cooler expression, even just an updated great headshot that this isn't really better than anything clearly, but I'm just going to update the site. I just think that's helpful. All right, cool. Who else? Just pop in.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good site. Obviously, you put a lot of work into it and it seems to be working for you. So that's great. Who else? Put your link in the chat.
Yeah, I'd like you to take a look at mine.
Yeah, I'd like to. Let's do it.
How do I spell it? How do you spell headshots?
All right, let's share your screen back.
I'm Aaron's top fan, by the way.
I don't know about that.
Wait, are you on my OnlyFans page?
All right, so I've never liked what you guys do with this big, even though it is nice that it changes so you see variety. It's not just one headshot.
Mm-hmm. What do you not like about it?
It's big. I'd rather see I'd rather see a variety all at once, but obviously it's working for you. I just it's not what I would do, obviously. So I think it does change at a pretty good clip and it's not too fast, so it doesn't take long to see some headshots. So I think for a site that uses one big image space, I think it does it well.
Okay.
I like how big this is. I like the accent color, always have, and I like the logo up there. This is amazing. I mean, that's I'll never forget that headshot. This is okay. So I feel like this relies a lot on the amazing images that you and Tommy create, which is reasonable. But I don't think this really tells me much more about how you work, why it works. I think I'm trying to overcome a fear about the photographer not being good and about them not being good at being photographed. And I view my images as a way to overcome their lack of trust that they start out with in me. once they see a slew of good images, they know that I'm a good photographer.
Mhm.
But then I also am trying to overcome the idea that, well, look, she's gorgeous. Like, oh, he's so cool looking. Look at his eyes, his cheekbones. Like, I don't have that. Or even just, that guy looks amazing, but I know I've been photographed before by other photographers who were good, and I just am not that attractive, or I'm not good in front of the camera or whatever. So when I talk about facial expression coaching, that is what that is addressing, the fear that they're not going to do well enough.
Yeah.
So like, your headshot needs to make a statement. It needs to command attention and reflect the real you, the best you. You need a photographer who sees you at your best and knows how to capture that. So, okay, you know how to capture that. And okay, I mean, you just have to trust that they know how to capture that. But what if I don't think I've got it? Like, what if I don't think there's something to capture? For me, facial expression coaching is like, I'm going to help you with your face. You're right, you don't have it. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Whereas like, this is just like, trust us. We know
Yeah.
you, and we'll make it happen.
Okay. So essentially throw in something there about facial expression coaching.
If you want to just rip me off, yes, that's I just think, what is it about you? Like, are you fun? Are you, do you, I don't know. I do feel like facial expression coaching is really good. And if I were not me, I would probably just take it and just, if John's mad about it, sorry, it's just too good. It's too good. But I would try to personalize it. Like, what are your sessions? What makes you able to create images that are awesome for people? Is it connection? Is it, your studio space just makes people shine? Is it, what is it? Like, I don't know what you do in a session, but facial expression coaching for me is really describing the fundamental thing that I do to get people to look like I get them to look. It could be just, someone could have like, we actually talk deeply about image and experiences that have made you stronger, and then while you're thinking about that, you look strong, or whatever. It could be different for everybody, but I feel like this is, portfolio. Let's take a look at that. So like, I feel like it's a bit inconsistent, since we're being critical and trying to think carefully about this too. For one thing, these things, I don't know, there we go. I mean, you tell me, why is this page helpful? Why is this page helpful?
Well, because I think it shows a pretty good number of, consistent images that work. So it's not like, well, we have 5 good images,
Right.
It will be good.
So why do people have to click to see that? I mean, I think you're right. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just then.
Well, this way they get to see all these images on one page without it cluttering, pages that are more useful to do something else.
Sure. But then if this is helpful, why do you have large images here?
I think I did